Our past, our heritage. An introduction to history. A new textbook has been introduced this year, the history book. Many of you may be wondering that you have to read a lot for history and also memorize a lot. You might think that many names, dates, and years need to be remembered. What if we try to read this book of history like a storybook? What if it contains many pictures, funny anecdotes, unknown facts? Then reading this history book would become a happy activity. One of the meanings of the term history is stories of the earlier times, and you must surely be fond of listening to old tales. Let us see whether we can get as much fun in reading history as we get in reading storybooks. Surely we all remember Ruby's grandfather in our environment for class 5. One day, grandfather invited Ruby's friends over to his house and they all went to meet him. Grandfather entertained them with stories, and in the middle of the storytelling session, he got up to return shortly with them with three interesting things: a grinding stone, an iron pestle and mortar, and a machine. Polas wanted to know the use of the machine. Grandfather said that the machine was also used to grind spices. It was known as electric mixer grinder. Ria said, I haven't seen this before. Grandfather replied that he had also not seen that machine in his childhood. There was prevalence of only grinding stone and iron pestle and mortar when he was young. Grinders made of stone were also in use at that time. When, why, how, and where. One day, the students were discussing about the uses of stone and metal. On this occasion, Salam narrated the story told by Ruby's grandfather to the teacher. Listening to it, Didimoni, the teacher, asked the students to draw pictures of a grinder, pestle and mortar and mixer on the blackboard. Pritha volunteered to draw them. Didimoni then asked Tanmoy, can you tell me the use of which one of these three tools had man learnt the earliest? Tanmoy said that it was the use of the spice grinder, since man had first learnt to use stone. She asked, then which one? Salam replied that it was the use of metal, pestle and mortar, since man had become acquainted with the use of metal after stone. But Dadu had said that stone, iron, pestle and mortar of earlier times were also in vogue. Didimoni said Dadu was right in saying that man had the knowledge of stone, pestle and mortar from antiquity, and they are still in use in present times. Pritha said that means the mixer machine has been the last invention of the three, because man learnt the use of electricity at a much later date. Didimoni agreed and said, this is precisely the story of the beginning of history. What came before, what came later. In other words, to inquire vice versa time. What came when? People, events or things. Which came when? In search of these, you also achieved another thing. You narrated the reason of their appearance one after the other or before one another. There is the need to know why certain things came early while some came later. This is the next episode of the story of history. Arun asked, "What is this next episode or step?" Didimoni said, "Now there is need to ask how. That is, how did men learn the use of stone grinders? Again, how could they make metal grinders? Along with this, one needs to know where all these implements were made and used. This is vital because people of one place at a certain period did one kind of work, whereas at another place but within the same time frame they might have been doing different kinds of work. So, tales of history always begins with questions of when, why, how and where.